Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I'm actually in bed. I've been told not to work. That has not worked. I literally love doing social media and love posting and updating you guys, and I feel like that's all I want to do. But I thought I haven't really done like a sit down chat where I actually tell you like what's going on, how I'm feeling, how's life and everything like that since way before I went to LA, and that feels like an eternity ago now. And I feel like I just want to speak to you guys about a few things and just kind of like have a chit chat. Like I feel like I just need to have a general chit chat with you guys. So I asked you on Instagram like if there anything that you want me to answer. Be brutal, be honest, like it's fine, I don't mind. I have just had surgery and a lot of people say like, why are you hiding it, why are you hiding it? I'm not hiding it, I will explain everything in this video, but I just wanted to have like an actual video to sit down and talk to you guys about what's happened, because it is something that I didn't realise could happen, and it did. So I'm gonna explain, don't worry, we'll get to that. Someone has asked, what are goals you're currently working towards? So at the moment I feel like my biggest goal is just to do some sort of TV. Like I really want to go and do presenting or just some sort of TV in general. I feel like that is the next kind of career step that I do want to take, and I feel like in the near coming future I might even start doing acting again, because I really do miss just being in the musical theatre scene in general, and I feel like I'm too embarrassed to go to dance classes. Like I don't think I'm a strong enough dancer anymore, but I still do love my acting, and like I film POVs all the time. I'll never get posted, but for my own kind of benefit and just to see how I'm getting on. But yeah, no, I just feel like I love all that stuff, so maybe in the future that. But I think for now my biggest main goal is like to do some sort of TV work, but also to really crack down on this brand. Like it's getting so far already, and I'm so excited for you guys to see everything that's happened so far and everything that we've been kind of working on. But I think yeah, the brand, TV, and there's a few brands that I just absolutely die to work with, and I just think that is like my main goals when it comes to work. Personal goals, I feel like just staying and sticking to the right people and not falling for people's traps. I know that sounds stupid, but I feel like I'm someone that like I always think everyone's in for good intentions when they're not always in for good intentions. So I feel like sometimes I end up, you know, like trusting the wrong friends, and then I'll get my heart broken from a friend, and I do that way too much. So I feel like this kind of next year I think already become a little less, what's the word, social butterfly. I don't know what the word is, but like I'm not as much of a social butterfly anymore when it comes to seeing friends and speaking to friends. Like I don't really text people anymore, I don't really speak to people, and that is all off my own back. I'm doing that for the right of myself, because I just feel like if my friends want to see me and speak to me, they will also do that. And I feel like a lot of the time it is a lot of me being like, oh, do you want to meet, do you want to do this, guys, let's do something, let's plan something. No one really does that for me, and I feel like growing up I've always been such a like people pleaser and a friend that always wants to be with their friends, but when no one wants to do the same it can be really hurtful. So I've taken a step back from like pretty much everyone just to see like who actually wants to, you know, put in the same amount of effort I've always been putting in, because I feel like it's almost always me having to ask my friends to see me, and then like I'll always help them and do stuff for them, but would they do the same? I don't know. So I feel like I've just kind of taken a step back from friendships, if that makes sense in any certain way at all. What is a small thing that has brought you joy recently? That's a really good question, but I actually don't think there's anything that like small. Do you know what? I think one thing that I never used to enjoy is my bed, but I've started to really like my bed. I got a new bed in, and I just love laying in my bed. Like I never used to be like this with bed. I used to hate my bed, and as soon as I wake up I get out of my bed because I just be like, oh, like get me out of bed, I feel gross. But recently I've been really liking my own bed and my own room and my own house, you know. Opinions on the Kayla Malik situation. I think that's how you say her last name, Malek, I'm not too sure. I actually love Kayla, and I've actually really, I just said Michaela, that's not even the name. I actually really like Kayla, and I actually have liked her for quite a long time. I remember when her like videos started blowing up and I started following her then, and I've always thought she was really cool, and I am just heartbroken for her that she's had to go through this. But I'm also really happy that she's raised awareness, because I know that there's a lot of other girls and boys out there that haven't got their stories shared and for the world to know about, and it breaks my heart that people even have to go through such horrible things. But I'm glad that he's in prison, 100%. Least favourite brand to work with. Do you know what, like I always say is there was brands from when I was kids that I'm just like, why did I even work with them? Like one that stands out was like, I did like this bag giveaway. So basically I did like this thing where you had to like have people come round and lay out stuff behind you, like MacBooks, like LV bags, everything like that. You take a picture with it, they pack it all up and be like, right, now you've got to post that and get your followers to tag this many people and follow all these people. And now I only ever do giveaways by myself or with brands that like I've asked to do a giveaway with. I never just do a giveaway anymore because of that reason. So that's the worst brand I've ever worked with, but like genuinely in the past 3-4 years there's been no one that I've actually hated working with. I feel like I've become very picky with the brands I work with, and I have to believe in the product, use the product myself, or have heard enough good reviews that I want to test it out and then promote it once I know it's good. Because the one thing that I just could not do, because I'm someone that's so easily influenced, I feel like I almost, as my job role is to be an influencer, but also like I don't want to be that person that gives the easy influence people stuff that is going to ruin their skin or break their skin out or do this and do that. And I know that obviously products work differently for everyone, and the things that work for me might not work for you, but all the brands that I work with, skincare, makeup, hair care, I truly believe in their products and I truly use their products enough to then be able to promote them. So I hope that helps. Opinion on the Glow House. It seems like such a good idea, and I really like the fact that they've included like Tallulah from UK and stuff like that, and I think, you know, she's smashing it and they're all smashing it, and they're all really nice girls from what I've heard. I've actually never really spoken to any of them, but from what I've heard they seem really sweet. So yeah, looks cute. Worst point of your life and how you got back out of it. I'd probably just say school, but not even the part when I was getting bullied. I think that was obviously probably the worst part of my life, but one that really stands out is I was going through a really bad time with this boy, and like he cheated on me, he did some really bad things, and I just couldn't get over him. And like being in school, I was so sad every single day. Like I literally was so sad. I had like no one to talk to about it. I feel like that was probably the worst part of my life because I was so sad. I was like year 11 going through GCSEs and I had no one really like at school. I remember I used to just sit in the bathroom and be like, another day, another sleigh. So I think that's probably like one of the worst times of my life, to be honest. How do you feel about not going to college in sixth form? Obviously, like this is such a tricky topic, and I know that there's a lot of influencers that go to college and then decide to drop out. And do you know what? I feel like if I'd had a good experience at school, I probably wouldn't have wanted to do this full time yet. I think I would have waited and then went and done my further education. But as I'd like missed parts of my school because of bullying, I'd like really just hated the environment. It put me off thinking about even going to sixth form or college, and I was making money financially from 13 years old. So by the time that I was 16, I was like, I just want to keep making money. I don't want to have to be at school and have to stop, you know, doing things that I love because I can't do it because I'm at school and where somewhere that I didn't love. And I do think, like, part of me thinks, imagine if I did go to college, like I might have loved it, I might have hated it, I don't know. And that is always something that I'm always gonna, you know, think about. But also I feel like it just was never gonna be for me. Even if I didn't do social media, it was going to be dance college, or it was going to be like hair and beauty, and do something practical, because I'm not an educational person, and that's okay. Like, not everyone is, and I know so many of my friends are at dance college and I do look at them and think, oh my god, that would have been amazing, but I physically couldn't have done both. I don't think I could have done social media and did dance college. I am booked and busy, and as much as people might not think it, it can be a lot sometimes. Not as in like, oh my god, it's so hard, but it just drains the life out of you sometimes. Like sometimes I'll go to events and I'm just like, oh my god, I've been here, been in London 7 days out of the whole week. So the whole week I've been here and I'm just so tired. And I feel like sometimes with like events, it drains the life out of you. Like it actually does. Like it's so weird because you're not even doing anything, you're just standing there. I think it's the social side of it. Like social side of social media can be quite hard because you're always having to like put on that smile even when you're not feeling like smiling. And I think that can be quite hard. That's why I try to be as relatable and normal as possible, because that is literally me. But yeah, I don't really know how I feel about it. I think obviously if you're in the right financial, I don't know, like if this is what you want to do, this is what you want to do. Like no one should be able to judge someone off what they want to do. And I speak to so many young girls that have like dropped out of college because got bullied and they just wanted to start fresh and just have a break for a while. They don't get hated on for it, and I get, because we do our jobs, people think it's not going to last forever and it's not going to do this, but you know, like I'm financially stable for the time being and I'm really happy with where I am, and if it doesn't work out, I will just go get a job. Like don't really need an A-level to prove anything anymore. I think obviously certain jobs you would have to get an A-level to like prove whatever, but I think, you know, jobs are so hard to find, don't get me wrong, because my sisters, when they were trying to find new jobs, it was literally like hell and horror, and I think because I've got them, I know how difficult it can be. But if I was really that desperate to get a job, I'm sure I could find a job where I didn't need an A-level for that, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm not sad about the fact that I didn't go to school, college or sixth form. To answer your question. That's so bad. Next Marbella trip is actually Tuesday. No, it's not. That was such a lie. It's Wednesday. I've got to take my career on Tuesday. I'm so excited. What's the biggest false interpretation people have of you? I would say, like, I sometimes think it's not even the people on social media, it's the people that know of me, they're just like, oh, she's not meant to be a nice girl. And I'm like, but you don't even know me, you don't even know if I'm a nice girl, you've never even spoken to me. And I think the one thing that I really have struggled with, like, I'm not gonna lie, the past 2 years, I hardly go to parties. Like, everyone I know goes to parties with their friends, and like, you'd be so surprised. I think people think that everyone wants to be my friend, but genuinely, like, one of my friends, for example, goes to a school that I know a lot of people that go to that school because I've hung around with a lot of her friends, and even before her I was friends with a lot of people from her school, so therefore, like, we all kind of know each other. They will have parties, or like their friends will have parties and just not invite me but invite my best friend, and I'm like, it's just so weird because I'd always, like, even for my birthday, like, half the people that haven't invited me to theirs are on my list, and I'm like, I feel like an idiot, but like, I would have considered you a friend, but obviously you don't consider me a friend because I don't even get invited. But when I do go to parties, I don't enjoy myself. Like, I really don't enjoy myself. People that know me, I absolutely love spending time with, but 9 times out of 10 at parties, it's got kids from other schools or kids from other areas that I've never met before, and they genuinely treat me like I'm an alien. No one wants to come over because they think I'm gonna like bark in their face because I'm an influencer, and I'm like, I'm really not like that at all. Like, if you came up to me, I'd probably have a conversation with you and actually really get on with you. But I think people just have this misinterpretation that because I do social media, I'm standoffish, or like, you can't come up to me and speak to me like a normal person because I'm that person, which is just so weird because I literally am so normal and the same as these girls. Like, when I meet them, the amount of times at this party I went to the other day, people were like, oh my god, you're just so normal, like, you live such a mad life, but you're actually really normal. And I was like, obviously I'm normal, like, I've been brought up the exact same as you with the exact same people. But I think people think because I've got a following that I'm gonna be like this big diva or like completely different to you, and like, you've got to tread on eggshells around me, or like, if you bump into me, you've got to say sorry a million more times than a normal person. Trust me, it's fine. Like, don't worry about it. You get on with your day, you're fine. But people seem to like stare and just like stare, and then like, it's just crazy. They're just, honestly, parties are crazy. I really like parties when I go sometimes, but sometimes I come out there and I'm like, wow, that was great, I'm not going again. But yeah, biggest misinterpretation is that people obviously just think I'm like an alien or something. How did you feel when you saw the video? Do you know what? I haven't spoken like at all about this situation because there's not really much to say. It just shows more about the person than it does me. Like, I was genuinely, you know, just living life, and when people decide to try take your privacy and post it publicly, it is obviously very weird, and like, you're a weirdo for doing that. But also, like, I got on with it, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not something that anyone should, you know, care about. It's just what I said. So yeah, that's all I have to say on it. Literally, I have no anger. It shows more about them than it does me, and on top of that, because I'd never do that to a friend, so I hope that helps. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Help. That's it. Single or dating? I'm severely crushing. Biggest regret? Where do we start? I'd say one of my biggest regrets is, like, I'm just gonna say, I don't actually think I live in regrets, but I definitely do live in regrets. Okay, for today I'm gonna be like, do you know what, like, everything happens for a reason. I don't regret anything, but I definitely do regret something. I just can't think on the top of my head right now. Hope that helps. Do you ever feel pressure growing up on social media and having a reputation? Of course, like, it does put extra pressure and weight on your shoulders because it's like, people are waiting for you to do something wrong 24/7. Like, I will never forget the day, right? I was in somewhere quite local to me, not that far, and I just walked in the toilets and all the girls went, and I was like, and just smiled and walked in the toilet. And then I come out and they went, are you Amy? And I went, yeah, you're okay, like, speaking to them. They're like, probably year 9, right? One of the girls has got her phone like this, obviously filming me. I'm not stupid, I can see that you're filming. People think they're really slick with it, but you're not slick at all. Like, half the time I just look at the camera. So in their videos it's probably just me staring at the camera, but this girl was filming and she's got her vape in her hand and she goes, do you want to try some? Filming me. I'm like, I'm not stupid, you're filming me. And I always remember that because I was just like, wow, people are really trying to catch me out. Like, even the people that are asking me for photos are trying to catch me out in these situations. So I just feel like it is kind of scary sometimes because it's like, the normal things that normal teenagers do, I actually haven't done most of it because I can't, and I don't really care about it, to be honest, because none of it really interests me anyway. But yeah, I just don't really know. I'm not really bothered. I kind of like my life, so I do like my life and I love my job, so I don't really care about the fact that I can't, like, go be a kid, you know? They don't really bother me. Who is your celebrity crush? Drew Starkey. Have you ever felt like you wanted to stop social media because of your mental health? I think, like, obviously, like, certain situations that have happened that you guys know about, like, it does make you think, is it really worth it? Like, do I really want this amount of like embarrassment or pain or whatever's kind of going on to be like documented on social media for other people to see and judge and always have an opinion on you. But then I just look, literally it's like my eyes just kind of like take me back to like times where like I've met followers, and it genuinely keeps me going. Like when people come up to me in public and just speak to me, I'm just like, wow, like this is why I do it, because I've made so many amazing followers, friends, best friends from doing social media, that why the hell would I want to quit because like a bad day, you know? I get breaks, but I can't do breaks, I don't think. Sorry, I just felt a spot. What age are you thinking of moving out? Part of me really wants to do a year in London and like not in Essex. I don't think I'd like want to move out anytime soon. I'm not planning on moving out. But I do really want to just like have an apartment in London and just live in London for a year and just see how I get on. I think it could be really fun. So maybe like next year I'll like consider it a little bit more. Obviously I'm still under 18, so I wouldn't want to do it like right this second. But it's something that I definitely can consider because like it just looks fun, and like I feel like I need a lot of advice before I move out and a lot of life lessons. But I think it could be really fun, and like just to be a little bit more local to work would be so convenient. I'd actually leave the house more, I think. So it was a Blank Street down my road, I would go to Blank Street every day, like no, get them steps in, whatever. How did you manage to stop comparing yourself to other girls? I feel like every girl compares themselves to someone, and like you can sit here and be like, nope, never done that, so convinced that I'm the best person in the world, but like there's always someone that you're gonna look at and be like, oh my god, like she's so much prettier, or like, oh, her hair, like, oh my god, her lips, her this. Without wanting to be them, you can still like look at other people and think stuff like that and compare yourself a little bit to them. And I feel like I am someone that does this all the time. I will literally look at girls on Instagram and be like, oh my god, they're so perfect. And one thing that I do a lot is like girls that do gym videos. I'm like, why am I not like that already when I work out every single day? And it's like, because you're not them. Like everyone is built so differently, and you can't compare yourself to someone that is from a different mum, a different dad. Everyone is so different in this world, and that's what makes everyone so unique. Like imagine if we all looked the same, we'd be so boring. And I feel like it's so easy to sit there and be like, oh my god, like yeah, but she's so much prettier, like look at her. But you've got traits that that girl will never have, and that is what makes you you, and that's what makes you special. Maybe you've never convinced yourself yet that there is a trait that you have that people don't have, but there is definitely something in you that makes you you. And I feel like it's so easy to sit there and judge yourself instead of make yourself feel good and make yourself feel more confident. But the day that you start telling yourself that you're pretty and stop convincing yourself in your head that you've got this like weird ugly personality and face, will literally be the day that it changes you. Like as much as I still look at other girls, of course I do, now I'm a lot more comfortable in my own body, and I don't sit there and think, oh my god, every single day like I used to. Like yeah, I'll get in moments where I'm like, whoa, and then I'm just like, right, snap out of it. Like I'm myself for a reason, you know, I'm here for a reason, so are they. Once you start doing that a little bit more, even if it's just 2 times a week more than normal, it'll make you feel so much better. And confidence from within is what makes you a pretty person. If you aren't so confident and secure in yourself, everyone will be able to see it, and you'll be so much more mesmerizing, and people will literally fancy you more because of it. I promise you that. The girls that I look at, I think you are so secure in yourself, it makes them 20 times more attractive. I'm not even joking. I look at them and think, oh my god, if I was a boy I would date you. You're so stunning. Like the way that you hold yourself is so stunning. That is literally the core to everything, I promise. How did you get through GCSE season? It's been 3 days and I'm really struggling. Oh my god, I hope you're okay. First of all, good luck to all my GCSE A-level baddies. You're all gonna smash it, I know you will. And I know that this time feels like the weirdest time ever for my GCSE people. I can't relate on the A-levels, I'm so sorry, but I know you're gonna go smash it. But yeah, GCSE season was such a weird season because by the end of it I loved it, but like at the beginning I hated it. I would say mock papers will be your best friend. The more you look at mock papers, easier it will become for the exam, because you'll feel so at ease, because you're like, I've already seen a paper just like this. And I really think that that's the biggest advice I can give you. Look at your mock papers, because 9 times out of 10 a question that was asked maybe like 5 years ago, it might be asked again but just in another way, and it means that you're more prepared for that. Also, don't put too much pressure on yourself. Like, don't go in there and be like, oh, I'm gonna fail and I'm gonna fail, because then you will fail because your mindset's not right. If you put in energy that, right, I'm gonna pass this exam, I know I'm gonna pass this exam, I know everything that I'm doing, I've revised for this and I've done 5 years of school for this, you will end up passing more than you think you will. I was genuinely like convinced I failed maths and I passed. Somehow, I don't know how. I nearly got a 5. I was actually 2 marks off of 5, and if I got it remarked, my teacher was like, you definitely got a 5, but I didn't bother remarking it. sorry. But yeah, I would definitely say, like, you can push through, you can do this. Even if you think that you can't do it, I know you can do it. You're 3 days in, you've not got that long left. When you think about the whole entire grand scheme of life, only a tiny little speck of your life. And also, you've been at school, A-levels, you've been at school for so long. And like GCSEs, you've also been at school for so long. Like, this is literally the end now. Like, you just got to push to the end of it and then you'll be fine. And I promise you will smash it. When is the podcast coming back? Guys, I've got good news. We finally found the right team, the right studio, and it is coming back. And I promise you it's coming back sooner than you think. I'm so sorry that I went radio silent on you and just stopped answering questions on it and just had nothing to say, because genuinely I wish I had more answers. I was just as confused as you were what was going on, but it is coming back very, very soon, and I'm so excited. So just stay tuned for that. I promise I'll give you dates when I know the dates. I'm gonna get on to why I was in hospital and the story time before I finish this video. Someone has asked, what was the reason you were in hospital with detail? So this is gonna be like 2 different stories, but they come to the end. Right, Friday night, felt a little unwell, but I was fine. Like, I was just a little bit like, so I come back from Jude's house, and you might have been on his live. I was on live with Jude. I left his house, I come home, it was about 12 a.m. Put on some dresses, and then I got in the shower. I come out of the shower and I noticed I had like a spot on my leg, and I was like, it's weird, like, didn't notice that. Just put a star face on it. It was like, oh. Next morning I woke up and I went to the gym. Was in the gym and I started feeling really ill, and I was like, what's going on? Like, why do I feel ill? So I actually listened to my body for once and went home. And I went home and said to my mum, I feel really ill. And she went, just take a cold and flu, because I'd been on my period the day before, and I've been taking cold and flus because I get really ill on my period from like tonsillitis, and it can sometimes just be like a viral infection. So my mum was like, you've probably just got that again. Just take this. So I'd taken it. And then I went to London, I went and got my hair blow dried, felt fine. To lunch afterwards with Bianca, and I went, Bianca, I feel really ill. And she was like, what? And I was like, I was not there, okay? Like, I was so zoned out, I was so spaced out. Sat at this meal and I went, I'm so hungry. The food came and I left the food. I couldn't eat it. Literally could not eat a single bit of that food. I'd had like 2 mouthfuls, went to the toilet, been sick. At this point, I'm like, what is going on with me? Been sick, I'm never sick. Sorry, TMI, if you don't like sick, I'm sorry. And yeah, and then I'm like, what the hell? Like, I've been sick, I'm really drowsy. Anyway, went and checked into my hotel room, I'm chilling. Felt better again, took a paracetamol, was like, oh, I'm on top of the world. Like, I had a bit of a nap, woke up, was fine. Got ready, I was going out, my dinner was at 10 p.m, and I'm like, I'm dying. It was for someone's birthday, so there was a group of us going, and I was like, okay, I can do this, I'll be fine. Prepped myself up, getting ready, went, I'm a bit cold. And then I went, but you know what, I don't need a jacket, I'm gonna be hot in there when I get in there anyway. Literally get a car outside, getting straight in. Okay, and this is when it starts getting interesting. I am shaking, like shaking. Mouth is like, you know when you're really cold, you're like that, and goosebumps for about 3 hours of that dinner. I was like that, right? My head, everything was so heavy, and I felt like when I was blinking, I was going like, where you're like so tired, like you could just fall asleep. Don't know what's going on with me, this isn't normal, but I'm trying to really like perk myself up because it's someone's birthday and I'm like this ill, like it's not fair. So I'm like, oh my god, okay, we can do this. Anyway, went home, went back to the hotel, sorry. I was out of it, like literally out of it. Like I was laying there, out of it. Woke up in the morning, again, felt fine. So I was like, oh my god, I'm fine. Like, yay, got the spa today. And I thought, do you know what, even though I'm ill, like at least I've got a spa. Like that's the chillest thing ever, you just sit and chill. So I sat and chilled at this bar. Felt okay. Didn't feel amazing, but I felt better. And then I noticed that the spot had got bigger, but like I didn't really think anything of it. Again, I was just like, I've just got a spot, like it's fine. Come back from the spa, went to Selfridges, had some food. But again, at this point, I still haven't even really eaten. I've only had a blank street and a croissant, that's it. So I was hardly eating. So I was like, something is wrong with me. And the blank street didn't even hit like it normally did. So I knew something was wrong with me. Went to Brazier of Light, which was like a restaurant in Selfridges, and just had bread. Couldn't eat. I was just like, right, I'm just gonna have bread. So I had bread. It was nice. Went to the Town of Mojo cancelled podcast. This is where I am starting to really drop. I felt like I hadn't slept in 3 days, and the whole show I was like this, trying to wake myself up. I was hardly there, like hardly there, to the point I was like, right, I need to book an Uber home. I don't think I can even get public transport home right now. I'm dying. My back was in so much pain on my leg, but only this side of my leg, my right side, right? So I'm like, something is not okay. My back started to really hurt when my disc slipped, and I thought, oh my god, I've slipped another disc. My leg had gone numb at this point, to the point that I was like, hi, I'm just filming. So I was like, oh my god, like my leg has gone numb, my back is really hurting. What is going on? I need answers now. Went home, p.m, got home. Went to the doctors the next day and showed them the spot and explained that I felt really ill. It was actually connected. It was a boil. My boil had gave me basically blood poisoning to the point where they needed to rush me to A&E. So she checked on my temperature. She was like, you need to get yourself to A&E now. So me and mum were like, okay, cool. So we went. So yeah, at this point I'm like, great, I've got to go to A&E. And I haven't been to hospital in a while. Thank God, touch wood, that I don't have to go back anytime soon. But I was in so much pain at this point. The spot, she'd started like moving it around. I was like, ow. But like, again, it wasn't too bad. Got to A&E. It just went down from there. I was stuck waiting for about 5 hours. I'd had a blood test about 3 hours in, and then they said, okay, it'll take 2 hours to develop. We're waiting in this room, and like my mum's gone up after 2 hours and been like, any updates? And she went, oh, we haven't even had it through yet. I was like, great. So we were waiting and waiting. Got to about 11 p.m. and we're still waiting. The doctor called us in at 12 a.m. and he said, yeah, we're gonna have to admit you for tonight. I think it's admit, he said. I think that's when you stay in. So basically I had to stay in the hospital for the night. So we were on like a waiting room bed. So it wasn't like a proper room and a bed or anything, but we just was laying there. Anyway, mum said, okay, I'm gonna go back because I'd ordered Domino's because I thought I was gonna be home that night. No, I wasn't. So she went and picked up my Domino's and brought it back for me. I'm gonna insert some clips now. This is me eating my Domino's. I just got told that I'm staying in hospital. And then I'm like, right, we have a bag packed at this point. Mum's come back. Bag's packed, but we don't know where we're sleeping. But like my mum's asking this woman, she's like, I don't work here. I'm just looking after this bit because it's shut now. So we're like, so we're in a closed area. But I had a bed. My mum was like, don't leave that bed because you've actually got somewhere to sleep for now. So go to sleep and I'll let you know once you get a real bed that you can go sleep in where you can get dressed and go to bed. Anyway, we didn't get called until 4 a.m. And then at 4 a.m. they put us into this room and I thought, oh my God, I'm about to get a bed. No, I got put on a seat. I had people around me and to be honest, they were all really quiet. I don't know why I'm acting like they were loud. They were really nice, but got sat on this seat and I was sat upright. I couldn't sleep, obviously, because it was so loud. Like they had like beeping noises and like people running back and in, and the nurses and doctors are obviously wide awake because it's their job to stay awake. So they're all chatting really loud and I just could not sleep for the life of me. And then they put me on a drip and I was like, oh my God, I hate things like this. Like this is like my worst nightmare. I hate injections and needles and all of that. So now at this point I've got like the thing in my hand, like they're putting me on drips and they're putting paracetamol through and they said you can't drink because you're gonna have surgery tomorrow. And I was like, surgery? Anyway, found out I was having surgery. And then at 7 a.m. they moved me to a room where I had a bed. So yes. And they were like, okay, you need to get in your surgery gown. And I was thinking, oh my God, I'm going to surgery. So basically what they were doing, they was cutting the mole. Mole? Why am I lying? They were cutting the boil. So they cut the boil out of me and sucked out all of the dirt that was giving me blood poisoning. So they did that. And then I was like, great, yay. And then I went home. So it's really, I did make it a little bit dramatic because I am a Leo and that is what I do best. But it was quite bad and I was in excruciating amounts of pain. And now I'm in even more pain because there is a boil that has been removed and there's now just an open wound. And for the next 5 days, I have to go back to the doctor every single day and they shove it, tissue, so it stops oozing out. And that is the story of my life and that is exactly what's going on right now. So yeah, I had a boil and then it started infecting my blood and made me very, very ill. And that is why, even if the doctors say no, you should go get your boils cut out if you can, because oh my God, I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know it was a boil. I thought it was a spot. But it turns out it was actually poisoning my blood to the point where I was severely ill. I've never been that ill before, and I just remember I went back from Tana Mojo podcast and my dad was in the living room and he went, are you okay? And I went and broke down in tears. Poor dad. But yeah, no, so that is the update that you guys have been asking for. I hope you did enjoy this video and it's just kind of cleared up a lot of things that you guys have been asking for the past while now. But yeah, thank you guys so much. I would still keep speaking, but my battery just came up saying it's gonna die. So yeah, love you lots, and make sure to go add me on Snapchat if you haven't already. It's at Amy. And make sure to go add me on Snapchat if you haven't already. It's at Emily Charlize, and then everywhere else it's Amy Charlize. And yeah, I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye.